Yes. Today, 6th of June 2025, it's a Saturday, Arana Sapa Day. We probably launched Kenya Moa Coalition, a bold and inclusive movement that brings together all Kenyans. We are united across regions, ethnicities, generations, and social classes by one clear vision: maendeleo bila ubaguzi, development without discrimination. Rooted in the desire of national healing, civic renewal, and equitable progress, Kenya Moa represents a break from personality cults, tribal arithmetic, and transactional alliances. Our coalition blends the wisdom of past national leadership with fresh national energy, particularly from youth, women, civil society, and the diaspora. Kenya Moa is not a coalition of convenience, but a movement of conviction to build a fairer, freer, and a more uniform republic where all Kenyans feel seen, heard, and served. Please allow me to ask my brother
Good morning. I'm Kalonzo Charles from Musyoka County, a policy and governance researcher and a founding member of Kenya Moa initiative. Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja. Yes, I'm here to tackle why Kenya Moja. To truly understand why Kenya Moja is necessary today, we must look back at our shared history in the past 6 decades and the challenges that have held our nation's unity and progress. We start in the 1960s. After independence, the government introduced Session Paper Number 10 of 1965, which shaped economic development policy. It focused the resources on regions being economically viable, mainly the central part of Kenya and parts of Odinga. Unfortunately, this policy excluded large parts of the country, including the northeastern coast, Nyanza, and western Kenya, leading to decades of uneven development and marginalization. This early exclusion planted seeds of inequality that persist today. The 1970s and 1980s. During this period, political power became increasingly centralized. Access to public jobs, land, and resources was often linked to political loyalty and regional favoritism. These practices deepened regional disparities, weakened national cohesion, and created feelings of exclusion among many communities. The 1990s. The return to multi-party democracy was a hopeful moment for many Kenyans. Yet, it also saw increased competition among ethnic and regional lines as groups vied for political power and control of state resources. This sometimes escalated into violence, undermining social trust and democratic stability. The 2000s. The devastating post-election violence of 2007-2008 was a painful climax of long-standing divisions and grievances. Over 1,000 lives were lost and hundreds of thousands displaced. This tragedy highlighted how exclusion and politicization of identity threatened the country's peace and development. The 2010s. The new constitution of 2010 promised change with the devolution, enhanced governance, and stronger citizen participation. While progress has been made, challenges like uneven resource distribution, corruption, and political patronage has continued to slow meaningful inclusive development. The 2020s. Despite reforms, Kenya still struggles with deep political polarization, economic inequality, growing disillusionment among mostly young people. Many regions and communities remain underserved and underrepresented in national development plans and political processes. This history of exclusion and division underlines the urgent need for Kenya Moa, a movement committed to undoing decades of marginalization and building a united, inclusive nation. Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Before I call my colleague, I just wanted to say that it is our vision. The reason why we feel it is necessary to have Kenya Moja is because we have seen what politics of identity has done to our country. Just to give a brief example, in the year 2020, it was supposedly a battle between the hustlers of the poor and the dynasties of the rich. But after the election, perceived to be won by the poor or the hustlers. Right now, the state is being run by who? It's the same dynasties still running the processes. And now, as we head towards 2027, it's being shaped as a battle between Gen Z or the young and the status quo of the old. But if history has taught us anything, is that despite these identities, if we don't push for equity, for maendeleo bila ubaguzi, some regions will lag behind, but the same status quo will remain at the top. Thank you, gentlemen. Welcome.
Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
My name is Kimanzi. I'm from Kithure County and a founding member of Kenya Moja. What are our goals? 1. Inclusive economic transformation. Development must be for everyone. It must benefit everyone, not just a few or those with political ties. Kenya Moja demands fair planning and investment so that maendeleo bila ubaguzi truly reaches grassroots communities, especially those left behind. Number 2, we want a dignified alternative to divisive politics. Kenya's politics today often rely on fear, blame, and division. Kenya Moja rejects that. We promote unity, hope, dignity, and leadership that puts service before spectacle. Number 3, youth mobilization and civic empowerment. Millions of young Kenyans are awake and politically aware, but many feel left out. Kenya Moja is going beyond social media hashtags. We are investing in real civic education, voter registration, leadership training, and innovation hubs to turn online energy into real political influence. Number 4, accountability at all levels of government. Real development only happens when leaders are accountable. Kenya Moja will monitor and publicly assess both national and county governments, pushing for transparency, fairness, and citizen participation in decision making. Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
And what are we looking ahead? This is just the beginning. In coming weeks, Kenya Moja is planning to hold grassroots or mashinani dialogue forums and rallies across the country to engage citizens in shaping Kenya's future. We are building a movement for all Kenyans, all generations, a movement of fairness and real progress. We invite everyone to join us. Kenya Moja.
Kenya huru.
Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
That is the end of our statement, official statement. And before I invite my colleague, Anthony, we are saying that we must reject any development model that discriminates a region against another, a tribe against another. Development to a region must not be at the expense of another. That is why we are saying maendeleo bila ubaguzi. Because if you can discriminate development against a people or an ethnic group or a region, it means you can discriminate other services. You can discriminate things like healthcare. You can discriminate things like jobs. So we are saying we want an end to this existing situation. Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
I want to invite my colleague Anthony to put out his remarks. Thank you.
Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
My name is Anton Ruby from Kithure County, member of Kenya Moja. Tuko hapa kuuza sera zetu moja kama movement, na tunaalika Wakenya wote kwa hii movement yetu tusonge pamoja mbele. Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Wacha nialike kwa zetu hapa na club.
Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Well, first of all, welcome to the 44 Noble Cause. We are here for a vision. We are here for a purpose. Our major concern why we came up with this particular umbrella, we want to unite Kenya. We are not here to antagonize the government or either in the government. But we want, first of all, to collect all the Kenyans together. Because the word Kenyan already itself, it gives you the position of ownership. Why are you a Kenyan? And we must have a purpose and a vision for this particular movement called Kenya Moja, Kenya Huru, Maendeleo bila ubaguzi. We are not here to speak about the government, neither we are not here to speak against the government. We are here to champion our own cause for all Kenyans, either Muslim, Christianity, Hindus, all the Kenyans to come together for a noble cause. And the major thing why we are coming in for the noble cause is that what happened to our country, and you remember very well the history, last year on 25th of June, whatever happened in Kenya, it's a history for us to learn something out of that. So that moving forward, we have decided to create our space to welcome all other Kenyans to come into our space. Because if we leave for the political class or the religious class to create their space, we'll go into their space with their terms. But we are creating a space for all Kenyans so that we can start a dialogue within our space at our own cost, so that that space becomes easier for us to start the conversation about how Kenya can move forward, how Kenya can share resources, how Kenya can share everything in an equal manner, so that we chart our own forward. And this movement, we want to welcome everybody, and as we move forward.
Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
Jina la polisi Matasi Uhuru tokea katika kuzaliki. Kwa nini vuguvugu mambo inayoita Kenya Moja inamwakilishi kama mimi ambaye ni mlemavu katika kikundi hiki? Tumeona muungano hapa nchini kwetu, katika muungano yote ya kisiasa, ulemavu na kukua katika wakati wa baada ya mipangilio, mwenye alikuwa pale akionekana kama mlemavu anachukuliwa, anapewa kiti cha nomination either MCA ama MP, na biashara yake imeishia. Sisi tunataka kuja hapa na muungano wa Kenya Moja kusema kwamba wale mambo wote watakuwa wamewakilishwa na mambo yao itaishia katika kutengeneza muungano wa kisiasa au muungano yote katika nchi hii. Tunawakaribisha wale mambo wote katika nchi ya Kenya waungane na muungano wetu wa Kenya Moja ambao hauna ubaguzi wote, ambao uko kuwasikiza wote na mwelekeo katika nchi yetu, katika vuguvugu ambao tunaenda kutambulisha. Ndio ambao limetengenezwa hapa mbele yetu,
na Wakenya wenzetu ambao wana consider na wanakumbuka Wakenya wote kwa pamoja. Asanteni sana, ndio mwenzangu hapo. Asante sana for this invitation. Naitwa Kenya Moja.
Endelea bila ubaguzi.
Ningependa just kupeana a few words kuongea maybe why we came together na where we want to this country. Wanasema things don't go wrong, things start out wrong. Kenya ilianza kama kampuni, the Imperial British East Africa Company. Now when the company came here, they came to extract resources. Now they made the people ambao tulikuwa tunaishi hapa, we became simply their workers and their servants. And your rights within this country at the time ilikuwa kama wewe ni mfanyikazi mahali fulani, you could not walk around bila kipande ya kuonesha mimi I am working for so and so, I am owned by so and so. Now when we got independence, we should have corrected that. The first thing we should have done was we should have built a nation, but we didn't build a nation. The people who took over this company, which had become a state under the Queen, waliendelea na huo ubaguzi, decided kupeleka development kule kwao. So what we need to do as Kenyans, we need to go back and ask ourselves, how do we create a nation of citizens, not a state ambayo kuna workers na wengine wanakuja kuwafanyia kazi. My rights as a citizen in this country is based on my ownership, joint ownership of this land that we call Kenya, but we only own it as a united people, as Kenya Moja. And that is why we're coming here as Kenya Moja. We want to correct some of these things and take ownership of our land, take ownership of our resources. For example, we need to understand what are the resources that we consider to be the state. Which are our buildings, which are our machineries, which are our things. We as the owners of this country need to understand what do we own as citizens in this country. That is number one. So there needs to be a very high level of accountability that Kenya Moja is pushing to have, so that the state right now as it is works with the people and the people know exactly what is happening in the state so that they can work together. Kenya Moja na Kenya Uhuru inamaanisha we come together and it's only together that can really become independent. Na mingine ambayo tutashare kule mbele, but for now ningependa kuachia hapo na ningependa kumkaribisha President of Bunge la Mwananchi
Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja.
Endelea bila ubaguzi.
My name is Francis Awino. I'm the current President of Bunge la Mwananchi, and at the same time, I'm among the founders of Kenya Moja. Today, it's a very great day to us, and I want to thank you as well, members of Friday State, for coming here so that we can make history in this nation. We have seen a lot of things happening in this country, and we are not here for blame games. We are not here still to praise others. What we want as Kenya Moja is to make sure that we have a country that is conducive for all of us. A country that everyone can enjoy, regardless of the tribe, regardless of where you are. And that's why we sat down and figured out, we moved to other parts of this country, trying to figure out what we can do, trying to ask our brothers, our sisters, and our parents what we can do so that this country can move forward. And so that these complaints zenye zimejaa kila mahali tuweze kumalizana nazo. Kenya Moja. Kenya Moja.
Endelea bila ubaguzi.
So we are giving our people hope. Ile hope yenye tunawapea ni kwamba hii Kenya ni yetu sisi wote na lazima tusonge mbele sisi wote. I want to remind you, back in 1950s, sasa nye maguka zetu, our grandparents, waliona Kenya haiendi mbele vizuri. Walikaa chini kama vijana wa hizo enzi, wakanongonezana, and they gave us independence, which was meant to be the first liberation of this nation. In 2010, 1990, when our fathers felt that this nation is heading towards the wrong direction, and they wanted to end a one-party democracy, they fought for it, na wakatuletea multipartyism, na wakatuletea constitution ya 2010. We, as the youth of our time, 2020, tumekaa chini pia, tukaona hii nchi sio ya wazee, hii nchi sio ya mababa zetu, hii nchi sio ya vijana, hii nchi ni yetu sisi wote, na lazima tukae chini tuangalie venye tunaweza songa mbele pamoja. And that's why, as we fight for the third liberation of this nation, social and economic empowerment should not be just a mere talk. It should be a conclusive thing to discuss na mababa zetu, wamama zetu pande ingine, mabrother zetu na masista zetu, ndio tuangalie venye tunaweza ponya Kenya. Ndio hii Kenya ikuwe Kenya yenye kila mtu anaweza enjoy saa zenye unaishi. Nikiwarudisha kwa Biblia, saa zenye Yesu alifufuka, wanafunzi wake na watu wa dunia waliuliza Yesu, kwa sababu umeamua kurudi juu mbinguni kwa baba yako, sisi hapa duniani unatuachia nini? Yesu akawaambia, nitawaachia Roho Mtakatifu, Holy Spirit. Saa zenye nimezunguka Kenya, nikawaambia tamu yangu ya bunge la Mwananchi inaisha. Wakenya wakaniambia, umetuonyesha leadership nzuri, wewe kama Francis Awino unaenda kutuachia nini? Nikawaambia, mimi sina Roho Mtakatifu, lakini tunaenda kuanzisha vuguvugu la Kenya Moja, ndio liweza kuponya Kenya, ndio sisi kama Wakenya tuweze kusonga mbele pamoja. So this is not a political space, this is not a church space, this is not a civil society space. This is a space that is bringing all Kenyans together so that we can move together. Na ndio maana naalika wa Kenya tarehe 7 mwezi wa 7, nataka tupatane pale Uhuru Gardens. Tutazunguka Kenya nzima tukielezea Wakenya wenzetu importance za kuja Uhuru Gardens tarehe 7 mwezi wa 7, ndio tuweze kunongonezana kama Wakenya. Na kuanzia hapo tushike mwelekeo wa kujua hii Kenya itapona vipi na ile njia yenye tunapitia kama Wakenya. Asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki Kenya na Mungu awabariki wote. Kama kuna maswali tunaweza kaulizwa ndio tuweze kusonga mbele pamoja. Na pia nyinyi watu wa Fourth Estate, tunawa invite pia mkuje kwa hili vuguvugu ndio tuweze kusonga mbele pamoja. Asanteni sana.
Kenya moja, maendeleo bila ubaguzi. Kenya moja, maendeleo bila ubaguzi. Give the opportunity for any questions.
Kenya moja. Kenya moja.
Maendeleo bila ubaguzi.
The end game is very easy. Right now we have a lot of problems in this nation. We have the health problem, tuko na mashida za education, tuko na mashida nyingi sana zenye hatutaki kuname one by one. Na pia hatutaki kulaumiana kwa sababu sasa hivi ukianza kulaumu ile regime yenye ipo sasa hii, watasema kuna mashida zenye wali inherit. Pia mwenzangu hapa Mulielia, umesikia akisema from 1950s, hii Kenya ilianza kama kampuni. So it's upon us sasa, tukae chini kama Wakenya. Tuangalie hii Kenya yetu tunaitaka ikue aje. Na ndio Kenya ipone, lazima sisi kama wananchi tunongonezane. Kama ni mambo ya education, sisi kama Wakenya tuamue education system tunataka ikue hivi. Kama ni mambo ya health, sisi kama Wakenya tuamue health system tunataka ikue hivi. Kama ni mambo ya ukulima, sisi kama wananchi tuamue ukulima tunataka ikue hivi. And that's why tuna invite Wakenya wote tarehe 7 mwezi wa 7 Uhuru Gardens. Ndio tunongonezane sisi wote. And from that point, sasa tujue hii ndio njia. Njia ya education ni hii, njia ya health ni hii, njia ya farming ni hii. Ndio sasa Kenya sasa zenye inapona ikuwe conducive kwa kila mtu. Mtu mwenye yuko kazi, mwenye hayuko kazi, mzee, mchanga, aenjoy kuwa Kenya na enjoy kuishi Kenya kwa sababu Kenya ni ya kila mtu. Mimi mwenyewe niko na right ya kuitwa Mkenya kwa sababu nilizaliwa hili Kenya. Lakini sasa zenye nateseka kama sina chakula na kama mtoto wangu hawezi enda Kenya, hawezi enda shule na mwingine ana enjoy hizo rights. Hizo ndizo vitu zenye tunajaribu kuminimize na ndizo vitu zenye tunataka kumaliza. Ndio mtu wote mwenye anaishi Kenya afeel Kenya ni yake na afeel anapaswa kuishi Kenya na afeel ako na freedom ya kuishi Kenya.
Okay, just to add to your question, we don't want vote, so that's why our core theme is maendeleo kwa upanuzi. It's about changing the political perspective.
So how you think of it is just a very good achievement?
It starts as an idea. We are planting a seed. Then we'll go around the country. This is just a launch. We don't want to preempt anything, but this is just a launch. After this, we go around the country. We invite Kenyans. We'll also share with them. We will also find that others have better ideas on how we can do this. Then we are going, as President Francis has said, we are going to meet at Uhuru Gardens on Sabasaba. Then there Kenyans will talk, and of course, in such a meeting, there will be resolutions. And now from there, now your question is answered. Thank you. Any other questions?
May I add something? Kenya Moja, Kenya Uhuru doesn't just belong to all of us. This is a movement that belongs to all Kenyans. It belongs to you as well. So if you have better ideas that can make us move forward as a country, we are still inviting you.
Any other questions?
People from different political parties allowed to join.
Yes, as Kenya Moja, we cannot discriminate because of your political affiliation. So with Kenya Moja, it doesn't matter which side of the political side you're leaning, as long as you believe. Because for us, whatever unites us is the belief that Kenyans need to come together and we need to develop as a country. And as long as you don't hold the opinion that whoever is in power decides who gets what, but it's the people, and everybody deserves to be served as a Kenyan, you are welcome, irrespective of your tribal affiliation, religious affiliation, your tribe, gender, anything. You're invited. It's Kenya Moja. It's Kenya Moja. Thank you. If there is no any other question, I'll take this opportunity to thank the members of the state for the coverage, and also we are hoping we'll walk this journey together, even outside Nairobi. Also, because we hope also to enter mashinani, the grassroots, to enter the informal settlement, pia mtaogopa to accompany that journey, so that we can work as Kenyans as we build for a better prosperity. Thank you very much. Unless any of my colleagues has anything more to add, I think this brings our press conference to a close. Kenya Moja, Kenya Moja, Kenya Moja, Kenya Moja. Shukran sana.